Did you know there's a spider that dances like a peacock to find love? Or one that looks like it stepped straight out of a Harry Potter movie? In this video, we'll introduce you to 15 of the strangest spiders in the world. From creatures with impossible colors to hunters that spit venom or imitate ants to kill without being detected. So if you think you've seen it all in the animal kingdom, get ready to be amazed. Let's begin. Number 1. Peacock spider, Muratus volans. Deep in the forests of Australia lives a spider that seems more interested in romance than in terror. It's called the peacock spider, also known as Muratus volans. And no, the name is not an exaggeration. This tiny male arachnid, only a few millimeters long, is capable of putting on a visual show that few insects in the world can match. When mating season arrives, the male unfurls a structure on his abdomen that resembles a fan. It's covered in dazzling colors, electric blues, fiery reds, metallic greens. But the real marvel is what he does with it. He waves it side to side, raises his front legs as if performing a miniature flamenco dance, and vibrates in rhythmic patterns that look like carefully rehearsed choreography. All of this for a single spectator, the female. If she's impressed, the dance ends happily. If not, the male may end up as dinner. The stakes couldn't be higher. In the world of the peacock spider, courtship is literally a dance between life and death. This species doesn't just remind us how creative evolution can be. It also challenges everything we think we know about spiders. They're not all dark, terrifying, or silent. Some, like this one, are living jewels that use color, rhythm, and seduction as tools for survival. And while to us, it may seem like just a curious spectacle, for them, it's a matter of lineage, genetics, and not ending up devoured. Welcome to the strange and fascinating world of the rarest spiders on Earth. Number 2. Moss ball. Spider, Areovixia gryffindori, in the dense forests of western India, hides a creature so peculiar that upon discovering it, scientists couldn't resist a magical connection. They named it Areovixia gryffindori, after Godric Gryffindor, one of the founders of Hogwarts. The reason? Its body has the exact shape of the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. This tiny spider, barely 2.5 millimeters long, looks as if it came straight from a fantasy tale. Its body is curved, cone-shaped, with a weathered brown tone that mimics the texture of old leather. But what's most fascinating is that this is not just a whimsical design by nature. Its shape has a very clear function: perfect camouflage. When it hides among dry leaves, branches, or moss, its shape and color make it practically invisible to predators. From above, it looks like a piece of bark or a fallen seed. Nothing about it suggests a living creature, let alone a patient hunter that spins its web at night and vanishes with the morning light. This natural disguise was so effective that for centuries nobody noticed it. It was only discovered in 2016 by a group of Indian researchers who, astonished by its appearance, decided to honor it with that iconic name. Because yes, sometimes science and pop culture meet in the most unexpected places, on a tree branch, in the shadow of the jungle, where a tiny spider waits for the perfect moment to strike. Areovixia gryffindori is not just a biological oddity. It's proof that nature has more imagination than any fantasy saga, and that if we pay close attention, there is still real magic left to discover. Number 3. Portia spider, Portia fimbriata. In the spider world, most species simply wait in silence for prey to fall into their web. But Portia fimbriata is different. This spider of Southeast Asia and Australia doesn't just weave, doesn't just stalk. It thinks. Yes, you heard that right. Portia, as experts call it, is something of a genius among arachnids. While other spiders act purely on instinct, Portia plans attacks, deceives prey, and even fakes movements to make them believe nothing suspicious is happening nearby. Its favorite target? Other spiders. Instead of catching flying insects, Portia prefers a greater challenge, infiltrating the webs of others and becoming a hunter of hunters. But it doesn't act recklessly. It watches, analyzes the patterns of its prey, then makes its move. Sometimes it even mimics the vibrations of a trapped insect to lure its victim closer. When the unsuspecting spider approaches to investigate, Portia strikes with surgical precision.
Scientists have been baffled by its behavior. Its strategies vary depending on the environment, the prey, and the level of risk. If one tactic doesn't work, it abandons it and tries another. This kind of mental flexibility is extremely rare among invertebrates. It's as if it improvises with intelligence, not just reflex. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. Less than 2 centimeters long, scruffy, with hairs that make it resemble moss or debris. But beneath that humble exterior hides a lethal mind. It doesn't need brute strength or blistering speed, just cunning. Portia fimbriata is living proof that intelligence doesn't always come in big skulls. Sometimes it comes on 8 legs, with strategies as precise as any military tactic. Number 4. Happy face spider, Theridian grallator. In the lush tropical forests of Hawaii lives a spider so strange, so unique, that it seems like nature's little joke. It's called Theridian grallator, but most people know it as the happy face spider. And one look explains why. Its body is small and delicate, with a translucent yellow tone. But the real spectacle is on its abdomen. Natural patterns that look like tiny faces. Some resemble smiling emojis. Others have arched eyebrows, mustaches, bulging eyes, or mischievous grins. No two are alike. Each spider carries its own unique design, as if nature had decided to make each one a one-of-a-kind artwork. These markings aren't just curious. They've puzzled scientists for years. Do they serve a specific function? Are they camouflage? Do they scare off predators? There's no definitive answer yet, but one theory suggests that these false faces may confuse attackers, tricking them into thinking they're seeing something larger, more complex, or just stranger than expected. This spider also behaves in peculiar ways. It doesn't build large webs like many of its relatives. Instead, it prefers tiny webs hidden beneath leaves, where it spends most of its time motionless. If you're not looking carefully, you might mistake it for a drop of resin or a fleck of sunlight shining through the canopy. The happy-faced spider reminds us that the natural world isn't only wild. It can also be extravagant, playful, and even artistic. And that, in the greenery of Hawaii, tiny beings may be smiling, watching, or mocking us from the shadows. Number 5. Goliath bird eater, Theraphosa blondi. In the depths of South America's tropical forests lives a creature that could have crawled out of a nightmare. It's Theraphosa blondi, better known as the Goliath bird eater, and the name is no exaggeration. This hairy beast holds a title no other spider has claimed. It's the heaviest spider in the world. When fully stretched, it can span up to 30 centimeters, big enough to cover a dinner plate. And if that's not impressive, perhaps the sound it makes when walking will do it. Yes, this spider is so large that you can actually hear its footsteps crunching through the forest floor, like a small 4-legged animal. Despite its fearsome looks, the Goliath isn't deadly to humans. Its venom is comparable to a wasp sting, though its fangs can grow nearly 2 centimeters long and easily pierce human skin. But beyond biting, it has another defensive trick. It flicks urticating hairs from its abdomen with its hind legs. These hairs float in the air like microscopic needles and can cause severe irritation if they land on eyes or sensitive skin. Its diet is just as imposing as its size. Though a spider, it doesn't stick to insects. It can hunt mice, frogs, lizards, and even small birds, which it quickly subdues before consuming slowly. And it does all this without a web, lunging at its prey like a true ground predator. The Goliath bird eater is more than just a giant. It's a living testament to how wild, primal, and awe-inspiring the natural world can be when evolution is left unchecked. A true monster that breathes, hides, and waits. Number 6. Giant crab spider, Heteropoda maxima. In the dark, damp caves of remote Laos lives a silent, elusive creature that's absolutely terrifying for anyone with arachnophobia. It's Heteropoda maxima, better known as the giant crab spider. And no, the nickname isn't meant to be cute. This species holds the record for the largest leg span in the spider world, up to 30 centimeters from tip to tip. Unlike other large spiders with robust bodies, Heteropoda maxima is elongated, with thin legs that stretch out sideways like those of a crab. In fact, its common name comes directly from its peculiar way of moving, sideways, fast, and unpredictable. This spider doesn't build webs to trap prey. It relies on stealth. It hides among rocks or in the total darkness of caves, where its pale brown coloring makes it nearly invisible. When an insect, or even a small lizard, wanders too close, the spider leaps with astonishing speed and seizes it with its long, powerful legs. Its strike can reach over 1.5 meters per second. Although its size can inspire nightmares, it's not dangerous to humans. Its bite is painful, yes, but not deadly. What unsettles people most is its ghostly appearance and its ability to vanish and reappear in the shadows without making a sound. The giant crab spider impresses not just with its leg span, but also with the elegance of its movements in the dark. It is the queen of shadows, an almost invisible hunter that turns darkness into its ally. And in the underground labyrinths of Laos, it reigns supreme. Number 7. Pelican spider, assassin spider Eriochenius. In the most remote corners of Madagascar hides a creature so bizarre it looks like a fusion of insect, bird, and alien. It's the pelican spider, scientifically known as Eriochenius, but often nicknamed the assassin spider. And that name is well deserved. This spider is a hunter of hunters, a species that feeds exclusively on other spiders. Its most distinctive trait is instantly recognizable, a long neck and oversized jaws, giving it a profile that strikingly resembles a pelican's beak. But this unusual design isn't for looks, it's pure efficiency. Its enormous chelicerae, those pincer-like jaws, are adapted to strike prey from a safe distance. While its long neck keeps its body away from danger, its pincers reach forward to stab and seize its victim, usually a smaller spider. And it doesn't use a web to hunt. The pelican spider is an active predator, walking across the threads of other spiders' webs with surgical precision. It moves slowly and silently, like a shadow no one sees coming. And when it locates its target, it stops, calculates, and strikes in a quick, lethal motion. What's most fascinating is that despite its fearsome appearance, this spider is only a few millimeters long, small enough to fit on a fingernail. But its size doesn't stop it from being one of the most specialized assassins in the arachnid world. The pelican spider proves that nature isn't just strange, it's strategically brilliant. A combination of form and function so perfect, it looks designed by a sculptor with a killer's soul. Number 8. Spiny orb weaver, Gasteracantha cancriformis. In gardens, forests, and jungles across the Americas, from the United States to Argentina, lives a spider so striking that many don't even recognize it as a spider at first sight. It's Gasteracantha cancriformis, better known as the spiny orb weaver, or sometimes the crab spider due to its unusual shape. Unlike typical spiders with rounded or elongated bodies, this one has a wide, flat abdomen covered in sharp spines, jutting out like the armor of a medieval knight. As if that weren't enough, its body often displays bright colors: vivid yellow, white, red, or orange, usually with contrasting black spots. It's as if nature decided to paint a walking warning sign. Despite its menacing appearance, this spider is completely harmless to humans. Its venom poses no danger, and it rarely leaves its web. But its spiny look has a clear purpose: to scare off predators. A bird or reptile might think twice before biting something that looks like a mix between a venomous insect and a tiny hedgehog. Their webs are large and sturdy, typically spun between open branches where they can catch plenty of flying insects. And while females display these dramatic spines and colors, males are much smaller and plainer, with smooth, unremarkable bodies. The difference is so extreme that for a long time scientists thought they were entirely different species. The spiny orb weaver is a reminder that in nature, defense doesn't always come from size or venom. Sometimes all you need is good armor, an intimidating appearance, and the perfect spot to set a dazzling trap. Number 9. Ogre-faced spider, Dinopus. When night falls in the tropics, a strange creature awakens and prepares to hunt. It doesn't build a hanging web. It doesn't wait passively. Instead, it arms itself with a tiny net between its front legs and stalks with unshakable patience. This is the ogre-faced spider of the genus Dinopus, and its hunting method is as bizarre as it is fascinating. Its most striking feature is impossible to miss. Literally, huge, round, gleaming eyes that shine like lanterns in the dark. In fact, proportionally, they are the largest eyes in the entire spider world, giving it an almost cartoonish or terrifying appearance, depending on your perspective. These eyes allow it to see with astounding clarity in the deep night, just when it goes on the hunt. But what truly sets it apart is its hunting style. It weaves a small, portable net, like a miniature hammock, which it holds between its front legs. Then it hangs above a leaf or branch, waiting. When an insect passes below, it springs forward like a slingshot and casts the net over its prey with surgical accuracy, capturing it as perfectly as a fisherman with his net. This behavior is so unique that scientists have filmed it with high-speed cameras to study every detail. Every move is calculated. Every strike is precise. And once the hunt is over, the ogre-faced spider simply prepares another net. As if nothing happened. It doesn't need giant webs or elaborate ambushes. Just extraordinary night vision, a trap between its legs, and perfect timing. A silent hunter, with lantern eyes and a strategy worthy of science fiction. That's the ogre-faced spider. Strange, precise, lethal. Number 10. Bola spider, Mastophora. On quiet nights across the Americas, there's a tiny hunter that has perfected a hunting technique straight out of a spy novel. It doesn't chase prey, and it doesn't build conventional webs. Instead, it launches a sticky ball at the end of a silk thread, like a whip, and with it, snatches its victims out of midair. This is the bola spider, of the genus Mastophora, and its strategy is not only unique, but downright devious. The key to its hunting lies in deception. Adult females of this species chemically mimic the sex pheromones of female moths, releasing into the air an irresistible scent for males. So when a male moth picks up that smell, he thinks he's heading for a romantic encounter. But in reality, he's flying straight into a lethal trap. And that's when the magic happens. The spider, hidden in the darkness, swings her sticky silk bola with precision and captures the moth mid-flight. Watching it is like seeing a scene in slow motion. The predator barely moves, only her weapon does, striking with speed and surgical accuracy. What's most curious is that only adult females use this strategy. Juveniles and males hunt the traditional way, catching smaller insects with their legs or simple webs. It's as if mastery of this weapon is reserved only for the most experienced. The bola spider is one of the few species known to combine chemical mimicry with projectile hunting. A perfect example that in the animal world, deception can be more effective than strength. And somewhere in the forest, one of them waits, swinging her invisible trap with the precision of a miniature sniper. 11. Spitting spider, Cetodis thoracica. Imagine a spider that doesn't need to trap its prey with a web, nor chase after it. Instead, it waits patiently for its victim to come close, aims with surgical precision, and spits a sticky mix of silk and venom directly from its head. This is how the incredible spitting spider, Cetodis thoracica, hunts. A stealthy predator that seems to have an arachnid superpower straight out of a science fiction movie. This small creature can be found on almost every continent, but its ability is anything but common. Its spit is no accident. It's a controlled discharge of 2 microscopic jets, loaded with a substance that hardens in fractions of a second, completely immobilizing its prey. It does this with such accuracy that it can capture moving insects from several centimeters away, an astonishing feat for its size. But that's not all. While spitting, it rapidly swings its head from side to side, creating a kind of crisscross pattern that traps the victim as if wrapped in a net of biological cement. In less than a second, the prey can't move, and the spider simply approaches to calmly inject venom and begin feeding. Unlike many spiders, Cetodes has a rounded body, shorter legs, and eyes that almost give it a gentle look. But its hunting method is anything but gentle. It's a biological flamethrower, able to create its own trap at the exact moment it needs it. The spitting spider is a reminder that in the world of arachnids, every species has evolved with astonishing strategies. Some weave webs, others hunt, and this one spits to win. Who needs a net when you can launch one straight from your mouth? 12. Cobalt blue tarantula, Haplopelma lividum. Deep in the Thai jungle, hidden underground for most of the day, lives one of the most visually stunning spiders on the planet. Its name is as exotic as its appearance. The cobalt blue tarantula, Haplopelma lividum. And when it finally emerges to the surface, it's impossible not to be mesmerized. Its body is covered in an intense metallic blue that looks hand-painted by a futuristic artist. That color doesn't come from pigments, but from a complex microscopic structure in its hairs that reflects light in a particular way. A phenomenon known as structural coloration, the same effect that gives shimmering hues to butterfly wings and peacock feathers. But what's truly amazing is that this dazzling effect belongs to an underground dweller, which rarely needs to be seen. So why all the spectacle? That question remains open for scientists. Some believe the color may serve as a warning to predators or even as a form of visual communication between individuals of the species. What's certain is that when light strikes its exoskeleton, this tarantula glows as if it came from another planet. Despite its beauty, it's not exactly friendly. The cobalt blue tarantula is extremely territorial and aggressive when threatened. Its bite is not lethal to humans, but its fangs can deliver intense pain, cramps, and nausea. It is also an excellent digger, spending most of its time hidden in deep burrows it carves into moist soil. A creature that combines wild ferocity with aesthetic perfection, Haplopelma lividum needs no decorative webs or elaborate hunting tactics. Its mere presence is enough to make it one of the strangest, most beautiful, and enigmatic spiders in the world. 13. Yellow sac spider, Ceracanthium inclusum. Hidden in dim corners, among leaves, cracks, or even inside homes, lurks a small but powerful spider. The yellow sac spider, Ceracanthium inclusum. Its name comes from the structure where it rests during the day, a soft, whitish silk sac that it weaves with precision. But don't be fooled by its modest appearance. This creature is far more dangerous than it looks. At first glance, it seems harmless. It has a pale yellow or greenish body, elongated shape, and thin legs that give it a delicate air. However, if it feels threatened or gets trapped in clothes or bedsheets, it can bite. And that's when the trouble begins. Its venom, though not fatal, can cause mild necrosis of the skin, producing wounds that swell, darken, and take a long time to heal. Because of this, the spider has gained a reputation rivaling that of much larger and more visible species. Some even mistake it for the infamous brown recluse. But the yellow sac spider is far more common than you might think, especially in rural and suburban areas of the Americas, where it easily enters homes in search of warm, dry shelter. Curiously, it doesn't use its silk to hunt. Instead, it ambushes small insects directly, relying on agility and speed to grab them with its chelicerae. Its silk sac serves more as a sanctuary, a place to rest, reproduce, and protect itself from the outside world. The yellow sac spider reminds us that in nature, true danger doesn't always look monstrous. Sometimes it's discreet, silent, and sleeping right beneath your bed. 14. Zebra jumping spider, Sulticus senicus. Small, fuzzy, and sporting a design that looks tailor-made by a graphic artist, the zebra jumping spider, Sulticus senicus, is one of the most charismatic members of the arachnid world. Its body measures only a few millimeters, but its attitude and abilities are colossal. The first thing that catches the eye is its black and white striped pattern, which gives it its peculiar name. It looks like a miniature zebra, but with bulging eyes, twitchy movements, and endless energy. Unlike traditional web-weaving spiders, this one prefers direct action. It's a hunter that leaps, and not just any leap. This tiny creature can jump up to 50 times its body length. If humans had that ability, we could spring from one skyscraper to another with ease. To achieve this, it doesn't rely on muscles like ours, but instead pumps hydraulic pressure into its legs, launching itself like a biological spring. Even more incredible is how it uses its enormous forward-facing eyes to calculate exactly when and where to jump. Its vision is so advanced that some researchers compare it to that of certain vertebrates. It can see colors, detect motion with great precision, and focus on objects at different distances, all within a body smaller than your pinky fingernail. The zebra jumping spider is harmless to humans and, in fact, very curious. Often, if it feels observed, it turns its tiny head to stare back, as if trying to figure out who you are. Its bold and lively behavior makes it both an efficient hunter and one of the most beloved spiders among insect enthusiasts. Striped like a zebra, fast as lightning, tiny but brilliant. That's this extraordinary little jumper. 15. Ant mimic spider, Myrmeracne. In the animal kingdom, disguise isn't just a matter of style, it's a matter of life and death. And few creatures master it as well as the ant mimic spider from the genus Myrmeracne. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary ant. It walks like one, moves its legs like one, and even raises its front legs to mimic real antennae. But in reality, it's a spider in disguise, with a plan far more cunning than you'd imagine. This remarkable species has perfected its impersonation to almost cinematic levels. It not only fools predators that avoid ants for their foul taste or aggressive behavior, but it also infiltrates actual ant colonies to get close enough and devour an unsuspecting victim. Instead of spinning webs, these spiders walk among columns of ants, carefully matching their pace and movements so as not to raise suspicion. Even their bodies have evolved with a narrow waist and elongated jaws, giving them the precise silhouette of a worker ant. It's like a secret agent operating in broad daylight. But the deception doesn't stop there. Some species use this camouflage to escape natural enemies like birds or wasps, which prefer to avoid ants because they're tough prey. It's a double advantage. It hunts and survives thanks to its perfect disguise. The ant mimic spider proves that in nature, intelligence isn't always obvious. Sometimes it hides. And while everyone else thinks they're seeing just another ant, this master of deception has already accomplished its mission, staying unnoticed until the very last second.